Welcome to Concordia on Air. I'm Michael.
And I'm Jackson. And tonight...
In news, Hurricane Ian hits Florida.
And in our editorial tonight, we review the war in Ukraine.
All that and more on Concordia on Air.
And this guy, some of this guy. Hey Jackson, this would be my face if aliens invaded Earth. What would your face be?
It would be like, oh no! Ah!
Picture this, right? You're sitting, it's just after dinner, you're sitting at home with your family, and on the radio all of a sudden you're, meep, 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 aliens invade New Jersey, and it's the scariest thing you've ever heard in your life. How would you feel?
I'd be like, oh no, not the people of New Jersey, the great state of New Jersey.
Yeah. You know what I would hate? If it landed in like a place that was like really nice, like Grover's Mill, New Jersey.
Hey, Ben 10's been there.
War of the Worlds, guys. We're talking about War of the Worlds.
Get warred upon and get worlded upon.
And
H.G. Wells's War of the Worlds, written by Howard Koch, also known for his works on the hit film, topical to our time, Casablanca.
yeah.
Yeah.
Come see this beautiful radio stage play done all live with live Foley. We talked about it last week. We're just talking about it again to remind you guys, put that seed back in your brain. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Rumor has it, Mikey goes to the bathroom on stage.
Yeah.
Yep.
We can't give it all away, but there are some shockers. I go to the bathroom on stage. We do actually, and this one I can tell without spoiling too much, we do have a live cow birth during the show. We got contact mics. Everything it's really well done. What else can we tell them?
We bought a Martian.
Yep. We bought a Martian.
Real live Martian. Mm-hmm. We went to the Martians Are Us and we bought a real life Martian. Mm-hmm. We also resurrected Orson Welles for you all.
Yeah.
Orson Welles, he has some bolts sticking out of his neck.
Yeah, he's a little zombie. He's ghoulish. He's kind of ghoulish. He acts a little. He goes, "Argh," but he's still the guy that we love, you know.
He smells a little differently, but if you want to see a zombified Orson Welles, head on down to the Francis Fraser Comstock Theater. Thursday, Friday, both times at 8 o'clock. One time on 2 o'clock on Saturday, and then another time at 8 o'clock on Saturday. If you miss those times, you're going to miss your chance to see a zombified Orson Welles.
And a live cow birth. Now to news.
So welcome to news. I'm Kay.
And my name is Andy. An audit request by the legislature's Audit and Fiscal Review Committee has shed more light on a nearly $2 million cost overrun on a building in Bismarck leased by the North Dakota Attorney General's office. The audit found that the Republican State Representative Jason Duckler of Bismarck was leased while Attorney General Wayne Schneesgem was still in office. He died last January. Additionally, the audit found that his leased office building did not have enough space for all the divisions of the Attorney General's office. An extensive remodeling was done by a company also co-owned by Doctor, which does not have a contractor's license. The work was actually completed by the subcontractors. The company does not have a contractor's license, and there were no invoices to support some of the payments made for the work.
So, on the southwest coast of Florida, Hurricane Ian made a landfall around 2:05 p.m. Reaching up to 150 miles per hour, it was categorized as a level 4 hurricane. It is one of the strongest hurricanes to make landfall since 2004 when Hurricane Charlie hit the west coast of the state. Fort Myers water levels have risen consistently for multiple hours and have reached about 6 feet, causing multiple power outages in the area. There were mandatory evacuations in major flood areas in the state, and the hurricane is expected to head north as time goes on, according to meteorologists.
After what many would call a strange standoff between Republican states and President Biden's administration, President Biden finally connected with of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis Tuesday night as Hurricane Ian barrels towards the Sunshine State, and the Republican leader thanked Biden for the federal government's help. Earlier in the day, Biden called 3 Florida mayors whose cities are expected to face the wrath of the storm before finally touching base with DeSantis, a potential presidential candidate in the 2024. The talk between the two national figures came as near the Florida Peninsula and could become a Category 4 hurricane. However, earlier today, the National Weather Service in Tampa advised residents not to go near the beach, even though the water appears to be receding.
So recently in China, there was a large amount of fish fossils caught. In this catch, there were some of the oldest fish teeth ever found dating back to the Silurian period, about 443 million years ago. It's believed that at this time, many fish species and other aquatic life were developing larger teeth and jaws. This started their hunt for actual prey rather than being bottom feeders and sparked their development of more complex fins. It is hoped that these teeth will help scientists discover more about ancient species of aquatic life.
And across the border, the U.S. Embassy in Moscow issued a security alert overnight that urged U.S. citizens to leave Russia immediately, while there are still options for departing the country. The alert comes in a wake of Russia President Vladimir Putin's orders the partial mobilization of Russian men to fight in the war in Ukraine. Quote, Russia may refuse to acknowledge dual citizens' U.S. citizenship, deny their access to U.S. consular assistance, prevent their departure from U.S., and script dual nationals for their military services. The letter had said the embassy alerts urged U.S. citizens to avoid all political or social protests and do not photograph security personnel at these events, noting that the right to be peaceful, assembly, and freedom of expression is not guaranteed in Russia.
So it's that time of year where we're actually getting ready to celebrate homecoming. The Royal Court has been selected and voting will be available until Friday, September 30th at 5 p.m. There's a survey to take where you can vote, or the atrium is also open for assistance on voting and to write notes to the homecoming court. Coronation takes place on Monday, October 3rd at 7 p.m. in the Centrum to start the week of homecoming. And now, an interview about Ultimate Frisbee with Ben and Mikey.
7 days, I'm so very excited to have my good friend Ben Hunke here. How you doing, Ben?
I'm doing good, Mikey.
I'm glad I got you in here. You got some time. You're a busy fellow. We've been trying to get you for about 2 or 3 years now. It's really hard getting high-profile guests like you on the show, so thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to come around.
Honored to be here.
Well, what can you tell me about Ultimate Frisbee? How long have you been with them?
Well, I've been playing Ultimate Frisbee since I was in high school, but I started playing for Valhalla, which is the team here, sophomore year, since freshman year was a little COVID-y.
Yeah, yeah. And what year are you here at Concordia?
I'm a junior.
Okay, so you've been with them for about 2 years?
Yep.
How was that? How did you discover Valhalla? You know, you said you played before, but did somebody reach out to you, or did you just find them yourself?
Yeah, well, actually, I went to high school with the captain at the time, David Lindgren, so that's how I really knew about it. I was going to seek it out anyways because I like Ultimate Frisbee a lot, so yeah. You can also see it at the Cobber Expo thing too.
Oh, okay. So I don't know a lot about Ultimate Frisbee. I know Frolf. You know, there's a driver and a putter. What is it, like football with a frisbee? What's the deal with this game?
It's not like football with a frisbee. I feel like people describe it like that a lot just because it has end zones. But
yeah.
Basic rules of the game is no moving when you can't walk when you have the frisbee. So you have to have 1 foot planted and you can still pivot back and forth. And then the goal is to just throw the frisbee to a teammate and get it into the end zone. And then as soon as the disc hits the ground or the other team catches it, it's a turnover, and then you switch sides, switch offense, defense.
It's like soccer, more like. Closer to soccer than football.
It is a little closer to soccer, yeah.
Okay. How long are games usually?
Games are about an hour or so. Usually they go to 15 points.
Okay.
Usually you just run out of time though.
And do you guys rehearse pretty normally?
Yeah, we practice twice a week currently. We're practicing Tuesday, Thursdays at 7 p.m., basically just until sundown. We're technically supposed to be there till 9, but it gets dark outside, so...
You guys just kind of play it by ear?
Yeah, hopefully we get to move into get some gym space soon. We definitely will come snow.
Oh, so you guys have been doing it outside?
Yeah, we've been outside in the fields, but there's no fields with lights on them
Oh.
on campus. So.
Okay. You know what? That actually calls for. We need funding for the ultimate frisbee field. We need to get a field for you guys with bleachers and everything. And you guys have like games like against other teams in the area, or?
Hopefully we have games with other teams. Last year we didn't get around to it at all, but we have been invited to tournaments before. It just depends on how many members of the team want to go and how, we need at least, it's 7 people playing at a time, so preferably we have at least like 10 people to go to a game, so we have people to sub out. Hopefully this year it goes a little better because we have a lot of freshmen that came out so far.
Oh, nice.
Like a lot of the times last year practices would be like 6 people.
Yeah.
But this year, the first couple practices I've gone to have had like 12, so.
That's good. I'm glad that people are coming around. And if somebody is interested in getting involved, where can they go to find information?
That's a great question. The captain of the team is Landon Johnson. We have a Facebook group, but I forget the name. I'm blanking on the name.
I think I've seen it. I think it's Valhalla Ultimate Frisbee.
I think that's what it is, yeah.
Well, if you're interested, check out Valhalla Ultimate Frisbee on Facebook. Thank you, Ben.
The tide of the Ukraine war is alarming the world at a global existential crisis scale. Recently, the Ukraine army launched an attack on the town of Balaklia on September 6. It has been under Russian control for more than 6 months. However, by September 8, the Ukrainian army had retaken it, and they seem to only be getting started. Ukraine forces moved through Russian-held territory at a breakneck pace over the next few days. Ukraine claims to have retaken nearly 8,000 square kilometers of Russian-held territory as of September 14. It is a key development for Ukraine and the start of the new phase in the war. It all began with the attack at Kherson, Russia's biggest southern hold. To defend it, the Russian army sent its well-trained members from the northeast to the south, leaving the northeast territory in a vulnerable state and leaving a gap for the Ukrainian army to exploit. The Ukrainian army eventually attacked the northeast, and they were easily able to overpower it. The Russian forces started abandoning their area, leaving Ukraine with a lot of military arsenal to potentially use along the way. The gained territory was small, but it sent shockwaves through the news. And immediately after, China and India, countries who were reluctant to condemn Russia, expressed their concerns about the war at the Shanghai Cooperation Summit. This showed the waning support of these countries for the Russian war. Russians themselves began to protest the war with slogans like "I will not die for Putin" trending, and Google searches for how to leave Russia skyrocketing in the country. Mass exodus occurred from Russia to Finland, so much so that Finland was forced to temporarily close its borders to cope. Things are looking tough for Russia. So does that mean Russia will lose? Hardly. After all, Russia is big. It can sustain the damages to continue the war for some time. But so can Ukraine, if the support is from the US and allies is anything to go by. But there's one problem with this. It increases the possibility of Russia using nuclear power to end the war. This further was realized with the announcement of the referendum to annex occupied regions in Ukraine and the following Putin speech, asserting that Russia will not hesitate to use nuclear weapons if the territory is attacked. To quote Putin himself, "I am not bluffing." Political scientists around the world have connected the dots to be Putin's attempt of justifying using nuclear weapons in the Ukraine war. Since the war is ongoing in the regions that are currently conducting referendums to decide whether to join Russia or not. If nuclear weapon is used, Ukraine is bound to affect neighboring NATO member regions like Poland, which will prompt NATO to respond to make its own response in kind of its own, or a nuclear attack. If the Ukraine war could morph into a worldwide nuclear war, if diplomatic steps are not taken to prevent it. We're not there yet, but we are 1, 2, or maybe 3 bad diplomatic decisions away from this. And now, arts and entertainment.
Hello! Welcome to Cheaters, Pumpkin Eaters. Is it art? No. Is it entertainment? Maybe.
Barely entertaining.
So we have a roundup of 3 of the internet's favoritist people this week.
Yeah, they're the favorite pumpkin eaters of the world.
Yes.
Adam Levine, he loves to eat pumpkins. Psych! He's one of the cheaters.
Yep. John Mulaney, he looks like a pumpkin spice guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's not.
What about,
he's a cheater.
What about Ned Fulmer? From Try Guys fame.
He kind of ugly, so maybe
he looks like a cheater. Actually, just outright. What's the shtick here, famous white guys? You all have been doing this "I love my wife" bit for the past eternity, and it turns out you're an adulterer.
Money. I can do an all right John Mulaney impression.
Let's hear it.
I will speak on John Mulaney's behalf tonight. So, I thought it would be a good idea because, well, I got bored. It was a pandemic and...
No.
There we go.
That was actually a pretty decent John Mulaney, though.
I don't know how I did it. I just woke up and was able to do it. I can do John Mulaney now.
What I think is crazy, right? I get it. Adam Levine, he's a famous pop star. He's been around for a while. These DMs that came out that are ridiculous, that have created a phenomenal meme format, but still ridiculous. That makes sense. John Mulaney also makes sense. He's really famous.
Yeah.
But
Ned, what are you doing?
why? Like, you can't.
What are you doing, Ned?
He clearly has got. There's something that made him do this because it was a coworker, and him and his wife are both well-known people.
Yeah.
You can't slide away from this. When you are this famous and you do something like that, people are gonna know.
Yeah. People will like you a lot less once they know as well. So why would you do it? What gain do you get out of this, Ned?
Exactly.
What do you get out of it, Ned?
And
Why are you even famous? Please, tell me, why is Ned famous?
because they try stuff, like cheating on their wives, I guess, Ned.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, buddy.
Tune in to Try Guys next week.
Where we try.
We
divorce
try
papers.
adultery.
We
And then
try
the week
adultery.
after, the week after, we try a divorce lawyer.
Yeah, I saw the clip. They're like in a club. It's a very public setting.
Disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, PDA in the first place is weird, but cheating on your also internet famous wife in the club with somebody, one of your coworkers. But also another thing.
Yikes.
Why are we even talking about this, guys? Who is this guy?
I mean, I don't know who that guy is, but I know who these 2 guys is. Whoever picked this image is a liar. This man's no angel.
He's no angel. You know how he voiced Spider Pig in Into the Spider-Verse?
He's not a spider pig. He's just a pig. Just a oink oink. Yep, Mikey said it first. Oink oink goes the pig.
John Mulaney, you real pig, you.
Adam Levine has no voice.
You know what he did? He went to a payphone and instead of using all of his change on his wife, he did it with a bunch of girls on the internet.
Maroon 5, more like Maroon 4, because nobody wants you anymore.
Is Maroon 5 still like active, or is it just Adam Levine doing his solo career?
No. It's Adam Levine's never had a solo career. Nobody cares about the other bandmates because they're not as good looking as Adam Levine.
Really?
But now I hope, internet, you take this as a lesson. Give the rest of Maroon 5 an opportunity. Give them a chance.
Because I bet they won't cheat on their wives.
Yeah, they're not as famous as Adam Levine. They've got a lot more to lose.
Yeah.
Seeing as they don't really have a name. What's their drummer's name? I don't think they have a drummer. Do they have a drummer?
I think they do.
Who knows?
I think it's an actual 5-piece band.
Yeah.
But I don't know their names, which I should. Because I like Maroon 5. I don't like Adam Levine, though.
I hope that this whole cheating scandal brings more positive attention to Maroon 4, the new band. They're currently looking for a singer. I might audition.
I'll audition.
Oh.
I'm at a payphone trying to see you next week.
Nah, never mind. I won't be auditioning. Mikey's already got it.
Bye.
We'll see you next week. We'll have the members of Maroon 5 on with us. to adjust these allegations. Yep. Goodbye.